Welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about plants. Oh, look at the frangipani. That's a beautiful frangipani. I don't get many blooms on this one. I tree farmed it and kept it kind of low cut. And from time to time it gives me some nice flowers. It's the kind that does grow a little slower. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Today I'm here to talk about BAMBOOSA Old Hammy. And what an incredible thing this is. Now this is a fairly old BAMBOOSA Old Hammy. And you know, the distinctive quality of the BAMBOOSA Old Hammy are these swelled nodes, like the Buddha belly. That's why the common name for it is Buddha belly. You can see some of them more protruded than the others. On the younger canes, you really get that Buddha belly look. And down towards the bottom, it's beautiful. In fact, this bamboo, cured, dried, and then made into things, it's really cool. As it gets older, like some of these, you can tell the Buddha belly aspect of it really starts to diminish. But what I want to do today is celebrate something that's happening, and that is that I got a nice midsummer sprout going. And this is typically what happens when you're growing bamboo. What you'll find is sometimes sprouts happen, and they just kind of grow a little ways up and then they die. And that's natural. That means they don't have enough starch down in the roots. Because what happens is the roots build up starch, and then when it has enough energy, they throw up a shoot. But you'll know when one gets going, when it's really made to go, it's going to shoot up. Now, I'm not going to grab this because it's got all these little hair-like, I don't know if you can see that, these little hair spines, and they are really actually kind of irritating on the skin. So, I just don't like it. It's not bad. It's not like a cactus or anything, but this sprout is maybe a week old, not even. And it'll just keep reaching and reaching and reaching. And at a week old, it's probably about 2 feet tall, maybe 1 3/4. And as it gets larger, these lower, I said I wasn't going to grab it, these lower sheaths will start to fall off. They'll fall off naturally, and it'll just progress on up into the canopy here. Now, I've chosen to tree form these because it's in front of my house, and I want to be able to see the house. I never liked that as a look where you can not see your house because you've got basically essentially bushes just taking out the whole house. But this is the way I like to grow bamboo in general, which is I cut off the shoots that are all the canes that are growing lower in order to reveal the beautiful structure of the bamboo itself, because that's the part I think that you really like to see is the actual cane part. And then up top, to have those leaves. Now, BAMBOOSA Old Hammy has got actually gigantic leaves for bamboo. If you could see the size, I mean, they're definitely longer than my hand in the size. And as a result, what you see is a lot of leaf waste. Now, this is a mixture of oak leaves and bamboo leaves, but it's a pretty dirty bamboo plant. In other words, it gets leaves everywhere. So that's just something to consider. And you can see when I trim these canes off, where I've trimmed it off, I trim it real close because you don't want nubs sticking out. Nothing worse than a nubby bamboo plant. Well, just when I said that, I spotted a nub. One other thing about this bamboo, any kind of vulgaris, any kind of clumping bamboo, is it's typically very easy to grow from cuttings. And if you look at this area, look at all those roots. Well, those roots will actually grow into, if you take a cutting off of this, if I were to say cut this one here and then maybe cut it here, bury it about midway in some good potting soil, keep it watered, it's going to sprout. It'll sprout out of these little shoots. Let me see if I can get a better view. Here, on the younger one you can see. So these little shoots are all just dormant. If you feel them and they feel kind of firm, that means that it's got a live little bud in there. And if every other, there's one on one side, one on this side, one on the other side, they just alternate. And that's where it'll sprout from once you plant it. Very easy. I've done a number of videos on growing these, and I've grown a lot of bamboo. At one point I grew about 30 pots of it and sold it kind of in the front yard, and sold all of it. And that was fun. But BAMBOOSA is a clumping bamboo. It doesn't run, so it's a great choice. In Florida, if you put clumping bamboos in the ground, they're still going to spread out, so don't be under the illusion that it's going to be a mellow experience. With the loose, sandy soil we have here, and the incredible ample amounts of water and sunshine, everything just wants to grow for the sky. So recently in California, did some walk and talk podcasts while I was there, and the bamboo there almost looked like it was just relaxing, like, you know, you could control it. It really looked like something that was a completely different experience from Florida. Now this one I have to ring around here, and, you know, from time to time they'll sprout outside. I have to stay on top of that. I used to have a gigantic patch right in my front yard. That took about 2 days of nonstop effort, and I mean 14-hour days to get rid of that, and a stump grinder that came back, and then I had to redig the area where it's stump ground because little pieces of it started to resprout. So bamboo's an adventure. I'd encourage you to try it, but understand, you know, it's got its drawbacks. But look at that. Another thing I have to be careful of here, look at that, it's touching the roof. I've trimmed this thing about every month away from this roof. And the reason is, if you have plants touching your roof, that's just like a highway for ants and things to get in. If you're in Florida, you know that you live in a jungle, and the ants are just going to happen. And if you give them a way in, they're going to get in. So that's the Bambusa vulgaris, the Buddha belly variety, and one of the most interesting clumping bamboos I know of. Also another good choice for your yard because it's relatively small. You know, it's not like these timber bamboos that'll get 50 feet tall. That's fun also, but you know, at some point, just like that's something that's a little bit manageable, especially when you're in Florida. So, hey, thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Eat Your Backyard, and you'll be notified as new videos come out. Thanks for watching.